This is unacceptable! Radiation rage
We are
rate!
gathered here today
Oh my goodness.
to honor a true hero.
What do you mean?
The graduation field fell silent. The Navy SEAL commander, mid-speech, suddenly stopped. His eyes were locked not on the rows of soldiers, but on a mother sitting in the front row, her sleeve rolled just enough to reveal a tattoo. In that instant, every word caught in his throat. What he saw was more than ink. It was a story of sacrifice, love, and a bond that no ceremony could ever put into words. The sun blazed high over the graduation grounds, casting sharp shadows across the neatly lined rows of young men in pristine white uniforms. Families sat in the front rows, holding back tears of pride. It was a day of triumph, years of training condensed into a single moment of recognition. Yet, just as the Navy SEAL commander raised his voice to honor the new warriors, something stopped him cold. His eyes froze on a woman seated in the front row, her hand clutching a folded program, her arm trembling as a sleeve slid back, revealing a tattoo. The commander's voice faltered. This was not just any mark. It was the same emblem carried by SEAL teams, inked in a style only those who had lived through combat would know. The crowd shifted uneasily, sensing the sudden pause. The young sailor standing in formation knew instantly it was his mother the commander was staring at. She had never spoken of it to anyone outside their home. To neighbors, she was just a single mother raising a son. But beneath her quiet strength lay years of hidden battles. She had carried the memory of her husband, a SEAL who never came home, through lonely nights and endless days of silence. That tattoo on her arm was not art. It was grief carved into her skin, a promise never to forget the man who sacrificed everything. The commander remembered him, the husband, the fallen SEAL. He had once fought beside him, shared rations in mud-soaked trenches, and whispered prayers before dawn missions. And now, years later, standing on the field of honor, the commander found himself face to face with the man's legacy, his widow, her tattoo, and their son standing tall among the graduates. The mother had raised the boy alone, refusing to let sorrow crush him. She woke before sunrise, working double shifts, her hands raw and her spirit tested, to make sure he had every chance his father would have wanted. She taught him discipline, respect, and the kind of quiet resilience that does not need to shout to be heard. Every time she looked at her son, she saw echoes of the man she lost, and every time the world doubted him, she reminded him of the strength that flowed in his blood. Now, as the commander's eyes lingered on that tattoo, the moment stretched heavy with unspoken history. The audience did not know the story, but they felt the weight of it. Some leaned forward, sensing that something more was unfolding than a simple pause in a speech. The commander swallowed hard, his voice breaking the silence, softer this time. Your strength is not only measured by the battles you fight, but by the battles your family endures alongside you. It was a truth that struck the field like thunder. The young sailor's eyes glistened, but he stood firm, refusing to break formation. His mother pressed a trembling hand over her tattoo, tears falling freely now, though her posture remained proud. In that moment, the crowd rose, not with confusion, but with reverence. The silence turned into a standing ovation, not just for the graduates, but for the unseen sacrifices carried by families whose names were never read aloud. The commander stepped closer to the mother, his voice steady but filled with humility. We salute not only the warriors in uniform, but also the ones who carried them here. This tattoo tells a story of courage greater than medals can show. From that day, the ceremony was remembered not for the speeches, but for the moment honor shifted, away from the stage, away from rank, and toward a grieving mother whose quiet strength had raised a warrior. 2 lines remained etched in memory from that field. The bravest battles are often fought in silence, and some legacies are carried not on the battlefield, but in the hearts of those left behind. The graduation ended with respect deeper than tradition, and the mother, who once felt invisible, finally stood seen, not as a widow, not as someone left behind, but as the living proof of what true resilience looks like. This story reminds us all that courage does not always wear a uniform. Sometimes it is carried in the quiet strength of those who keep going when the world does not see their struggle. Tell us, where are you watching from? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if this story touched you, subscribe for more stories of unseen honor, sacrifice, and hope.